We are going live now. Hey!
We are live right now, and I just remembered I don't have my
Sorry,
notes.
everyone. We went a little bit late, but you can tell we have a whole new system here.
No new
And we
setup.
want to make sure that we are all set up perfectly for everyone. And it's so far it is. We have some comics, some panels, some fun stuff. Look at all this. Look at all this. Remember last time we just had Sarah's messy office?
Oh,
Don't worry, she's not here, so she can't hear us.
What?
Oh.
What did you just say?
Nothing. Nothing.
What did you just say?
We said nothing. I'm here talking to the peeps. Now,
Hi, everyone.
Tell them how to comment so we can see their... Oh.
Here's our comments.
Okay. Kelly and Marcus.
So
hey.
now, you guys, when you comment, okay, Marcus is talking about our new background.
Well,
look at that.
You mean this whole thing? Well, yeah.
And just so you guys know, we are live now on Facebook and on YouTube. All right. So Kelly Turkel is here. All right. Very nice.
All right. Chris Alexander is trying to make his way into here.
Oh, that's exciting. And we also have
Jonathan. All right. Jonathan.
Marquin.
Hey. Love the shirt. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
My notes here.
My Cantina shirt, but look at it. Look at all this. I didn't figure anyone would be looking at me, looking at her.
I got some new makeup, and I was having fun today, and I did my hair, and it's very fun.
Yeah, I was trying to keep up, but I can't keep up with them. But thank you for noticing my Cantina shirt.
Oh, here's my notes.
All right, so give us a couple of where's our notes over here?
Oh,
yeah. So this is a whole new system, so bear with us. We're trying.
This is going to be harder because we don't have a second monitor.
Yeah, we do.
We do. Oh, yeah. Bring your iPad on over. That'll make it easier. Oops. Hi guys! Wow. Look at everyone. Look. Chris found his way on. Oh, YouTube. So Chris is on YouTube right now. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. I was having fun. I was playing with my new Lucille Ball Iconic Woman collection from Besame Cosmetics. And this is the Love That Redhead lipstick. And I have the palette on. And I even have the eyelashes, the Lucy eyelashes that are they're very light. So it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, but I was having fun today. And do I get to look at these notes as well?
I would love it if you did. All right, so as much as we're falling off our green screen.
Oh. New setup, you guys.
We're going to need next time, another monitor.
Yes. Well, usually.
Hey, Leanne.
So if we can find a way to put a green screen in my office, that might be best because we already have that monitor all set up in there.
Yeah.
And it's
if only we had 1,000 feet of green screen in our garage.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so.
No, you cannot rest that against this.
Sure, I can.
Period. No. So there is this. No. Off.
Well, then now it's going to be over here.
That's okay.
Okay. I'll do what you say.
All right. You keep moving my computer.
Well, do you want to see the notes or not?
That is perfect.
Yeah, I don't have to look then. Well, it's going to have to be.
No, I love it. We'll deal with that. Okay. I've got my notes. Do we have the card? Yes, the card is in here.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, Skywalkers. Well, we are going to talk classic Marvel Star Wars comics.
Yeah, so sorry, I'm going to have to keep looking down at my notes. Normally I can look right here, look at everyone, but right now the notes are down here. Until we get a green screen in Sarah's office.
Exactly.
So,
that's what we need.
Sarah, get on that.
Last longer. What is he saying? What's going on here?
This is set. That is set.
Okay.
So you'll have to just be scrolling.
Okay, this won't work right now. All right. There we go.
Well, then you should have your own iPad with this.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You know, I have my notes, and we'll deal with it.
Okay, tell you what.
What?
Go ahead, go get your iPad, so you can also be going through the pictures, the panels. Where's your iPad? Sorry, everyone. Hold on. Just tell me where your iPad is, and we can move on.
I think it's over by the couch. I think I saw it over. Yeah, it is, but I don't know if it has a battery. So, what have you guys been doing this week, everyone? Skywalkers. Because today we're going to be talking classic Marvel Star Wars comics. Here we go. That is what we're going to be talking about today, Flight into Fury.
And the beauty of it is we can go to the actual panels.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be super cool to be able to do that.
Instead of just looking at us reading notes,
yeah,
you'll be able to see the panel. So that's going to work. So now, once again, you can punch into the panels. You said yes.
Well, yes.
Okay.
That's all set. That's all set. Mic check.
Check.
Okay.
Flight
Perfect.
into Fury, take 1.
Take 1. Perfect. Okay. Are we ready then?
You would last long under interrogation.
So did you bring my iPad?
Its battery's out. But
okay.
As long as you say you can punch in, because like always, I'm going to read this and you're going to talk about the panels.
Okay. All right. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. Here we
All
go.
Right, there we go. Oh, I was waiting for you to say, this is what you can look forward to.
Oh, no. Nope, that's not today.
Okay, different show.
Different show.
Different show. Okay.
Just waiting on you.
Here we go. Long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there exists a state of cosmic civil war. A brave alliance of underground freedom fighters has challenged the tyranny and oppression of the awesome galactic empire. This is their story. And that is how Marvel Comics began every 107 issues of their original Star Wars comic series. I am Richard Wolofsky, and I want to welcome everyone to Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics. One more time. I am Richard Wolofsky, and I want to welcome everyone back to Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics. I am here to take you through these classic stories, share memories of reading these comics as a kid, and get you caught up with these characters and situations that every Star Wars fan must know. And also to connect and make parallels to the current films, which there is a Rise of Skywalker moment in this very issue. But now, everyone, please say hello to my sweetie wife, who was not born when this comic issue came out in 1979.
No, I wasn't born. But hello, comic book fans. I am a comic book newbie, especially when it comes to these vintage Star Wars comic series that ran from 77 to 1986. So each episode, I'm reading these comics for the first time. In this case, I read this one this morning while I was getting my allergy shot. And I give you my 21st century perspective on each issue, and I also look at them from an artist's point of view. Now, in this episode of Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics, we will cover issue number 23, Flight into Fury. And this is the final 6th chapter in this 6-part story arc.
And this is the one I've been waiting for. The story has gone on long enough, so this is going to be perfect. So, since this story has been taking place over 6 issues, well, 5 before this, I'm going to recap so everyone is on the same page. No pun intended. Okay, so this is the story up until this point. The crew of the Millennium Falcon was framed by the Empire for destroying a ship belonging to an important Imperial family. Han Solo flies his friends to the nearby giant casino known as the Wheel. An Imperial squad led by Commander Strom corners the rebels in the Wheel, and now must quickly destroy them before their secret is let out. Princess Leia, who has been caught by Wheel's administrator, Simon Greyshade, escapes and finds Luke, who has now recovered from his trance-like state after connecting with Darth Vader through the Force.
Should I say some of this?
Yeah.
Okay. Han Solo has been forced to enter the Wheel's main gambling event, the Big Game, and realizes that Chewbacca is one of his opponents in a Hunger Games-like battle to the death. Across the galaxy on the planet Altar, Darth Vader finds the remains of a rebel information retrieval team that has been wiped out by the bounty hunter Valance. Vader realizes that Valance is searching for the same thing, the boy who destroyed the Death Star. Now the race is on to see who finds him first.
Now in the last issue, To the Last Gladiator, Han Solo and Chewbacca team up against several competitors to stay alive in the Big Game. But they realize that, according to the rules, only one of them will be permitted to leave the game alive. Simon Greyshade, who has been playing double agent with the Empire, presents Princess Leia with a proposition. Escape with him and his stolen treasure, and her rebel friends will go free. As she contemplates her decision, she watches the main event with Han and Chewbacca and witnesses the death of Han Solo. And across the galaxy, the Dark Lord is quickly making his way to the Wheel because of a tremor he has felt in the Force.
Now, in this issue, as Simon Greyshade and Princess Leia prepare to leave the Wheel, Commander Strom realizes he has been betrayed by Greyshade and sends his stormtroopers to stop them. In the meantime, meanwhile, Chewbacca is leaving the main event. Meanwhile, Chewbacca is leaving the main event of the Big Game with Han Solo, who is believed to have been killed, but now reveals he's alive. Whew! The two make their way to the Millennium Falcon and leave the Wheel just in time to confront Darth Vader's Star Destroyer. Who lives? Who dies? And who has the flight into fury?
So are we all caught up? I know in each issue they spend so many pages recapping the story, but sometimes even then it can be a little convoluted, so we put it all together. Hopefully now we can get to the ending of this story arc.
All right, hold on. Like, not in the right spot. Okay, there we go.
All right, now this. Did you guys hear the chimes outside?
They probably can, and there was airplanes and stuff
yeah,
too.
I know. All right, now this issue, Flight into Fury, was released on February the 20th, 1979. So let's see all the people who are with us live. Who was alive when this comic issue came out? Sarah, put your hand down.
Yeah, everyone say me.
Sarah was born in 81, so this comic issue is 2 years older than Sarah. I know.
Very
I know,
true.
Chris, you were alive. All right, we'll get to those in just a few minutes. Now, this issue was written by Archie Goodwin, artwork by Carmen Infantino, Bob Wyacek, and Carl Gafford, cover art by Carmen Infantino and Bob Wyacek. So now, Sarah, let's talk about this cover.
Okie dokie.
Okay, do you want to go first?
Let's see. So it's better if you start when I'm...
All right, so now let's talk about this cover. And of course, all you Skywalkers, you chime in there because there's lots to say about this. Now, here we have Darth Vader, and he's looming in space, and he's watching the Millennium Falcon zoom away from the Wheel. And he says, "You've escaped the Wheel, rebels, but you must now face the wrath of Darth Vader." Oh, spoiler. Thanks, Vader.
No kidding.
All right. Now, Sarah, do you want to give us your comments on this cover?
Okay, so I feel that this cover makes me think that this issue will be all about Darth Vader. Because I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the very first time we have a classic Marvel Star Wars comic with only one character on the cover? I feel like all the rest were, a bunch of characters, or at least three.
If memory serves, even that standalone with Luke on Tatooine, there were Tusken Raiders and Jawas in the background.
Right, yeah. Oh, and Skywalkers, please comment, and we will share your comments on screen too on this cover too.
Okay, right now they're all commenting on whether or not they were alive when this comic came out.
Oh yeah.
Glenn Stein was alive.
Oh,
Kelly
here.
Turkel was not alive.
Let's see. Yep. Oh, let's see. Hold on. And Kelly says, nope. Oh, Crom the Warrior was a kid back then. Very nice. Chris Alexander bought it the day it came out.
Me too. Now, I loved this cover as a kid because it had the classic Darth Vader helmet looming over everything. And back then, this is the way you always saw Darth Vader on merchandising, whether it was the one-sheet poster or the Hildebrandt poster, the consumer poster, or the T-shirts, all had that same classic design, where it's Luke with the lightsaber and Leia on the rock with no shoes below Luke, and there was that big giant Vader helmet. Well, this really brought me back to thinking about those classic Star Wars moments. Even though this was 79, I was still thinking about the classic moments way back in 1977. So when I saw this cover, it really called out to me. And look at his eyes. They're red.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
red. The classic red Darth Vader eyes. A lot of toys had Darth Vader in red eyes. The MPC model kit that when you pulled a string, it breathed or made this chainsaw sound. He had the red eyes, and here he is with red eyes on this cover. So boom, as a kid, I just threw a credit card at the guy at John's convenience store. There you go.
Nice.
I didn't have a credit card back then, but if I had one, I would have said, here, take this. Take this. And look at this. Darth Vader's holding his lightsaber, but his fist and his helmet are not connected. So you see the helmet on one side and his fist and lightsaber on the other side, which to me makes him seem more omnipresent. Like Darth Vader's he is the galaxy.
Wow.
And then there's the dynamic image of the Millennium Falcon blasting away from the wheel, and it has such great composition. This is probably my favorite cover of the whole Marvel series at this point.
Awesome. Yeah, I really think it's dynamic as well. I do, however, just from an artistic standpoint, it to me, you have like the three images. You have the Vader head, the Millennium Falcon, and the wheel, and they're all three very prominent. So to me, it seems a bit like they didn't have a focal point, I guess, but all three of them are like kind of forming a wheel. So like for your eyes, so your eyes keep going around in a circle. But I know it worked for you, so that's the point.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's supposed to work, and really it does pop out at you. Like I could see this on a stand, and people being like, "Oh wow, Vader! You know, this issue must be really cool because Vader's back." You know, so makes sense.
Like I said in the other episodes, when I saw the other cover arts, it's like, it says Star Wars. Here's my 35 cents. I'll buy it. Wasn't that crazy about it? When I saw this, the world stopped.
Yeah. All right, and just Skywalkers, if you're there, if you're commenting, if you'd like a shout out, please just comment on this cover here. Like Chris Alexander says, he's holding it left-handed.
Only Chris Alexander would notice that. Darth Vader's holding his lightsaber in his left hand.
That is a very, very good comment.
Because I think Vader knows that if he held it in the right hand, it'd be off the page, so you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Hey, Tyler Bucks just joined us.
Yeah.
Hey, Tyler.
Dark Wolf says, overall, a pretty good cover. Crom the Warrior says, looks a bit like a movie poster. And Adam Dunnett is off topic, but that's okay. We do think that when Galaxy's Edge opens, we should go.
Yes.
Depending.
All right. Now, as always, what we do is we post this comic book cover in our Facebook group and our Facebook page, and have everyone just go nuts, comment on it. What do you think? What do you see here? What do you want to say about this? And we've got a lot of comments, so let's just read a couple here before we move into the story.
Ooh, awesome.
All right. Eric Unkenhout, he says, Darth Vader is talking about himself in the third person, like George Costanza.
Oh. So he says, you've escaped the wheel, rebels, but you now must face the wrath of Darth Vader. Oh, that is pretty
I've never
funny.
heard Darth Vader talk to himself in the third person. Another good, astute observation.
Absolutely.
David Manderville says, at least the red eyes are a thing. Well, there you go. I'm not the only one who noticed that.
Oh, this is funny. Courtney Turkel, Oh, it's 40 cents now?
David Manderville then goes on, nice callback, intentional or not, to the movie. Nice, nice. And space seems to be extra colorful on the comic covers. Stars of many colors.
Ooh, indeed.
Yeah.
I like that. And Courtney Turkel brings up a good point. Oh, it's 40 cents now. Uh-oh, 40 cents.
And you know what? I didn't notice that either.
Oh, here it
I didn't know.
is.
Yeah, they were 35 cents up until now. Now this one is 40 cents.
Uh-oh, look at that. And yeah, they were 35 cents. And same, oh, a Captain Action. Yeah, no Captain Action. So they're 40 cents now. I guess I didn't show them the whole cover here. But yeah, awesome.
All right, now Glenn Stein, who's with us right now. Hey, Glenn. He says, can you tell me where in the sky is the Darth Vader constellation? Is this the origin of the Falcon going to light speed while already in a larger ship? Once again, another great observation. The Millennium Falcon is going into hyperspace while inside of the wheel. Oh, another spoiler. Okay, we won't go there right now. All right, Sarah, now let's get into the story. Okay. I'm very, very excited about this one. Whereas the last couple of issues, let's just get to it. This is it, the last issue of this arc. So do you want to give us your thoughts?
Yes. Let's see what this is. Oh, okay.
Okay, you said for me to go first. So, all right. So these are my initial thoughts on this issue, and once again, the initial thoughts are more like the tone. What is the tone of your review for this issue? Now, knowing this is the last piece of the 6-part story arc gives me hope that this will be a very fast story because they have so much to wrap up. There's so many storylines going on. However, I was nervous that now they have 5 issues to keep referring back to. So in this one, do we only get 10% of a story? Because they have 5 issues to call back and say, oh, in issue with this, we did that. And remember this one, we did that, which they have done way too many times in the past. But I can say I really like this issue. Simon Grayshade has got a great, pure story arc, which I didn't see coming, knowing this character. So that was a nice twist. And there are some familiar faces that got me really excited in the crowd of the wheel. Not gonna say who they are just yet, but if you know me, you know what gets me excited when it comes to familiar faces.
Ooh, like classic.
We'll get there. Okay, so Sarah, give us your initial thoughts. What is your tone in this piece, in reviewing this piece?
The tone?
Yeah, the tone.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was like action-packed and exciting. And you're right, there was maybe like 2 or 3 panels that were kind of a recap, but it was a necessary recap for me because for me, it started off like the first panel was kind of confusing. And I'm like, wait, what's happening? Where are they going? And then they came up with the recap panels. And I was like, okay, I'm all caught up. I'm ready to ride the story out. And what a ride it was, because to me, this was the most A New Hope feeling episode of comics that I've ever read so far. You know, like of these Marvel comics, that the classic Marvel comics, because at one point you have like all these stories of all the heroes and they're all merging. They're all trying to get to like the docking bay, or they're all trying to leave the wheel. Very similar to how they're all on the Death Star in A New Hope, and they all have to merge together and finally leave the Death Star. So I really liked that a lot.
All right, good deal. All right, now let's get into the story. Now, on the first page, a security officer is telling Luke to get off the wheel before he remembers that Grayshade said that Leia's friends could go as long as she stayed with him. So for some reason, this guy's having some kind of a moral decision, even though Grayshade said, you guys can get out. So I'm not sure why the security officer is second guessing him. So Sarah, explain to us this splash page.
Well, look how cool this is, you guys. Flight into Fury. And do you want me to explain it in terms of
the
art? Okay, well, I think it's a really nicely laid out splash page. And true to 70s comics, you get narration right away, right off the bat. And it helps you, it kind of gives you an overview of what is happening. And the narration helpfully explains, this is the docking bay 10 of the man-made monument to the galaxy's love of gambling, the wheel. Just in case you were curious.
Yeah. All right, now explain to us the composition and the coloring of this.
Okay, so I don't think we've seen many blue ships in Star Wars, have we? I don't know. I feel like most ships are gray, but in here they're blue because you can't really use gray in comics. And you've got, your big focal point of this ship and a lot of little guys that it reminds me of those comic strips. Oh my gosh, the circus, Family Circus, right? A little bit where you have this big vantage point.
I did not see this conversation going this way.
You have this big vantage point, and then you see a lot of little dudes and little things around. So that's exactly what we're seeing here. You see some guys on the on-ramp to the ship. You see a guy on top, servicing the ship, and another guy on the side probably putting the fuel in.
Now, to me, it looks like they're trying to go for that Star Destroyer composition, because here you have the big 3 engines with the triangular ship shooting out into space. Okay. So for me, I'm thinking maybe Carmen Infantino wanted to get some Star Wars references back since they couldn't do it with Chewbacca. Let's do it with some ships and really make that mental callback.
Oh yeah, that's
Love it.
Funny. You're funny.
Now, as the security guard is telling Luke, hey, you better get out of here right away. Well, this sets Luke off, and Luke says, I've just seen a good friend die, and I'm about to lose the girl. And he's got a hard time getting the rest of the sentence out, as he should. And Luke storms off, but where is Luke hitting this guard? What are we looking at here? Upper right.
Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. Let's check it out.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So, the wheel's security guard obeys. Oh my.
So Luke's storming off, and he's backhanding the guard. But could you tell me where he's doing this?
In the guard's crotch. Wow.
I've got a feeling that this will make my non-Star Wars moment list later on.
Okay. I focus on a different thing.
Okay, all right. Well, when you're a guy, that's the kind of thing you see.
Okay.
Now, the next few panels are, again, recapping the end of the last issue where Chewie shoots Han in the big game, and Leia is telling Greyshade that he won, and she will go with him, but her friends have got to go free. Mm-hmm. And as Luke storms off, knowing that he just lost Leia to Greyshade, the narration reads, and this has sent the young Star Warrior in moisture farmer clothing storming out of the space yacht's cabin.
I have this written down.
Yeah. Why do they keep referring to Luke's outfit? In the last issue, they also mentioned his moisture farmer outfit. Why is this important?
I don't know. It's very odd, and I don't understand.
All right. Do you want to hear something else that is odd?
Yes.
This next part.
Okay.
Leia grabs Luke and gives him a very big goodbye kiss.
Yes. Now I thought it was Luke grabbing Leia. All right, hold on. Let's show the Skywalkers. This is very disturbed. Oh my. Oh.
Yeah, right there.
Holy buckets.
Leia is grabbing Luke.
Yeah.
And she is giving him a very big kiss.
Look at this, you guys.
And the narration reads,
right here.
The embrace is clumsy, the kiss awkward, as it should be. But as he watches from the yacht's hatchway, Simon Greyshade senses feeling and emotion he can never know.
Okay.
So even Greyshade knows that this is definitely not right in more ways than one.
Yeah. Okay, can I tell you something? So I was reading this comic once again. I was in I was at Kaiser Permanente. Anyway, so I was in a waiting room and I'm reading it and I flipped to this page and I gasped and started giggling right out loud. And everyone looked up. They're like, what's happening with her? And I was like, whoa, it was so funny.
Now, Glenn Stein had made a callback to where Luke was hitting the guard, and he says, I think he hit the rifle.
Where?
If you want to call it the rifle, that's up to you. All right. Cut back to Chewbacca. Now, cut to Chewbacca, still floating in space as the big game is still going on. He whimpers as he sees the corpse of Han Solo floating next to him. Meanwhile, the Tyloon Night Soarer, he's floating up on Chewie, waiting until he is close enough for a certain kill, and victory in the game will be his. Suddenly, Chewie spins around and blasts him so hard, the shot goes literally right through him.
Oh yeah, check it out.
Look at that.
Woo!
It's literally going right through this poor guy. Just then, Han lets us, the readers, know that he was just faking his own death, but he is still believed to be dead by everyone else. As Chewie is floating back to the entryway, we see Han's inner thoughts about the moment that led to this apparent death. And so what he had done to fake his own death, he had grabbed a floating ray shield and stuck it underneath his shirt, so when Chewie blasted him, it didn't affect him. Think of the scene in Batman when Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton, puts that tray under his shirt, so when the Joker shoots him, it appears that he's dead.
Okay.
All clear?
No. So
no.
So I had questions about this. So the panel here is depicting Han, and there's a big explosion behind him, and he's putting this ray shield in front of him. Well, how the heck is that going to help him from the explosion behind him?
Did you not see Batman? That explains everything.
I don't care about Batman. This is Han Solo. I don't understand, and I'm like, this is just a silly game here.
Okay.
But what gets me is these next panels where Han is like clearly moving, clearly talking to Chewbacca. Oh, where are they? And he's supposed to be dead. So that just bugged me.
No. It's his inner thoughts.
Is that really?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, except for that part right there. That's not his inner thoughts.
Well, right.
Yes.
Right. So it's like, dude, you're being broadcast to the wheel. Like, maybe want to play dead a little longer. I don't know. Well,
Harrison Ford's a better actor than Han Solo is in these comics. Okay.
All right, hold on. Chris Alexander has a good point. So, counting the movies, Leia has kissed Luke 4 times? 4 times. I get.
Okay. Once on the Death
cheek.
Star,
yeah.
before they swung across the chasm.
Oh, right.
Once before Luke was about to attack the Death Star.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then the actual kiss in Empire.
Tells Leia that he's all upset about Han.
Okay.
All right, that's 2. 3 we have here. Chris, we're missing 1.
Yeah.
Unless you want to count The Empire Strikes Back as well.
Well, yeah, that's what I would say. The Empire Strikes Back.
I'm thinking up to this point here. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
No,
what?
No, that was a spiteful kiss.
Chris's math checks out.
Okay.
All right. Now we cut to the Gambler's Lounge where a random woman is yelling.
Okay. Stop! There's a rebel plot underway.
All right. Stop. How does she know this?
Why not?
How? How does she know this?
Because weren't they being something's being broadcast? No?
The game was, but how does she know that there's a secret plot underway? Because Han hasn't revealed himself as being alive just yet. So this is one of these. Let's just move the story along by having this random green-haired woman yell this out.
Okay.
But that really bothered me.
But look how cute she is.
She's got a very nice bathing suit on.
Yeah, it's like a fun bathing and green hair. Looks like what people are trying now in quarantine. Try coloring their hair because they can.
All right, then Imperial Commander Strom stumbles in and tells everyone that he's been drugged and that Gray Shade is part of this big plot. Okay, now is when she should say something about a plot, because at this point, we don't know anything about a plot. Strom then orders the stormtroopers to find Gray Shade and the rebels and kill them all on sight.
Whoa.
Now, the random woman and a bunch of aliens are commenting on what's going on and those evil rebels. Now look behind the woman, and what do you see there? I want to give these artists huge props for including some of these familiar faces here. We see a hammerhead.
Okay, now wait.
We see a Godel from the Cantina, and some other Cantina creatures.
Oh!
Look at that.
Wow, I didn't even notice that last time, but that is super cool.
I wish you had noticed that, because
Hammerhead.
of all the times we've noticed Cantina creatures.
I know.
I know.
Well,
and you're looking at the green-haired lady. I understand.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, with comics itself, I'm going to go on a slight tangent here because it's important. Because everyone kind of consumes media differently. And for me, when you were a little boy, Richard, you just looked at the pictures, right? So I think when you consume comics, you look at the pictures more.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I grew up a reader. Like I'd read books, like books with illustrations kind of bugged me because it's like, no, I just want the words. So when I read comics, I mostly focus on the words. And I actually have to, unless it's like a breathtaking page or something, I honestly don't notice the art as much because I'm trying to read the story through. It's really hard for me to marry those two when I am reading comics.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's just me. That's just how I am. But, and I'm sure, I know like Trisha and I were talking about that, and she too has problems reading comics. Like it's just hard for that all to sink in because you're not, like when you're reading a book, you're just buried in your imagination and the words just flow. Whereas comics, the words don't flow and it's annoying because you have to keep moving your eyes around. So
all right.
that's just me.
I want to counter that.
Okay.
They're cantina creatures. Look
okay.
at that. There's a big hammerhead
That's
right
why
there.
we have you on this podcast and me on this podcast.
All right. Point well taken. Point well taken.
Yes.
All right. Just acknowledge them now, okay? While I read on.
I'm very excited about
this. Imperial Commander Strom, he has a few moments of inner dialogue where he's explaining the backstory. Oh, here we go again. And how he made it look like the rebels attacked the Imperials. This all happened in the first issue of this comic, of the story arc. And now the Wheel's patrons want the Empire's protection here on the Wheel. And I believe we brought this up before, that this is like Star Wars Resistance, where the First Order was making it look like these pirates was attacking the station.
Oh yeah.
And the First Order said, hey, we can get rid of these pirates.
Right.
Even though the First Order is the one who hired the pirates to attack
them in the first place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, Gray Shade reaches out to his personal droid, Master Crom, and tells him what's going on and tells him to broadcast the tape that the R2 droid has been recording of the Imperial secret plan to take over the Wheel. One more time. Now, Gray Shade reaches out to his personal droid, Master Crom, and tells him what's going on and tells him to broadcast the tape that R2 has been recording of the Imperial's secret plan to take over the Wheel. So now, this is it's like in Cloud City. Here's another analogy. The Empire is taking control of the city. So Gray Shade wants R2 to do the same thing and broadcast what's going on with the Imperials.
Right. But before Master Crom can do this, oh my gosh, you see some Imperial stormtroopers right around him, and I will attempt to at least open your docking bay magnetic field before ... You turn the page.
Oh no, don't turn the page! Don't turn the page!
Vadu!
Oh.
Once again, I gasped in the waiting room. I was so sad. Why is it that I get so sad when droids in Star Wars are killed?
Well, look at this panel.
It's terrible. I was so sad though. Like it was like what's his name in what's that movie?
I mean, this isn't like R2 or 3PO, or R2 gets blasted and it's very sad. And 3PO, you see him for like a half a second blasted in Cloud City, which is still sad. But look at the way this droid is being shred.
I know.
And his whole face is bursting.
And you know when they use Vadu, that it's a big blast.
You know that it's not a big blast because they didn't use Fatum.
Oh,
Fatum means that is the big. You can't get bigger than Fatum.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah, it is. So you know what? Let's have a moment of silence for Master Crom. Dark Wolf says they made him eat laser. Way too soon, Dark Wolf. Way too soon. All right, now the troopers get to the docking bay and cut off Luke and 3PO from escaping, and both sides exchange fire blasts. Meanwhile, R2 is successfully escaping through a conduit duct, but he rolls out of the corridor, he rolls out into the corridor, and someone there is waiting for him.
Okay, but before we move on, I just want to say, look at this amazing little panel here with R2 in the corridor.
Yeah, this is R2 in the conduit duct.
The conduit duct. Like, I think it's just the cutest the cutest thing ever.
This is kind of another reference here. Is like Luke in that one set in Cloud City when he's going through that tunnel with all the lights.
Yeah.
You see all the publicity photos, but in the film, you see it for like 30 seconds.
And I think I really like the colors too, because in this conduit, the conduit itself is like this lilac purple color, and R2 is a blue and white wash in the middle of it, and he's going in green. So the colors are really pretty too.
Okay, we got to point this out. As said by Captain Action.
Yeah, here at any point you can.
He says the stormtroopers finally hit something.
They finally shot someone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so mean.
That is funny. But who is this person, this thing that is blocking R2's way as he's rolling out of the core into the corridor? You see a shadow. What is that? Do you want to find out?
Oh, this shadow.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's find out right after this commercial break.
Oh, okay.
Now, this commercial break is brought to us by Hostess Fruit Pies, and this epic ad is titled Iron Man in Brains Over Brawn. And we'll show everyone those panels right there. There you go. All right, Sarah, you're going to read man number 1 and the screen direction, okay?
Okay. All right, let me just do that. Okay. We begin with 2 nondescript bad guys in a tank busting into Stark Industries. Man number 1. Once we crush Iron Man, we can take over the Stark plant.
Man number 2. And who knows where we'll stop?
Just then, Iron Man blocks their path. Iron Man, just the person we were looking for.
Iron Man says, sorry, friends, my boot jets are faster than your weapons.
Just then, Iron Man pushes the tank through a wall, and the 2 guys are thrown.
And man number 1 says,
oof.
And man number 2 says, ugh. And Iron Man says, apparently you don't know the power of my repulsor rays either. Hey, hold on, let me read it like Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
Well, apparently you don't know the power of my repulsor rays either. No, that didn't work out. Okay, moving right along.
So where are you? Okay. Then Iron Man throws the 2 thugs some Hostess fruit pies.
Iron Man says, here, take your minds off of me and your evil schemes. Have some Hostess fruit pies. Cherry for you, apple for you.
Oh boy, real fruit filling.
Me, I like the tender crust. Iron Man says, while they enjoy these Hostess fruit pies, I'll keep them in their place with my immobilizing ray. We never see if he's using this immobilizing ray or not.
I beg to differ. There's a little like ray around.
There's like a ray shield.
Yeah.
We never see him using this immobilizing ray. I just fell out of the story.
Okay. We'll just stay here and enjoy these great tasting
pies.
Your second guy changed his voice.
He's excited. He's got a fruit pie.
Okay.
Forget Iron Man. Forget the evil schemes. He likes these tender crusts. He's happy.
All right. Well, as Iron Man runs away, he says,
and I'll get back to being Tony Stark.
Spoiler.
Tony, keep it down. He's like Han Solo. Just keep some things to yourself.
All right. And then, of course, we have to hammer home that this is about these fruit pies. And
no. Hostess fruit pies. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You get a brand. And now we need a voiceover. You get a big delight in every bite of Hostess fruit pies.
The end.
All right. So, Skywalkers, how has your life changed since this ad? Sarah, how about you? What did we learn from this classic tale? I'm learning a lot.
Well, I'm sorry. It's stuck. Well, I think that we learned that fruit pies are exciting.
And
Thank you, Kelly.
You know what? If there's a scuffle, a skirmish, a scuffle, scuffle, you bring a Hostess fruit pies, everything is fine.
And also, Captain Action brings up a good point. Every superhero should carry Hostess fruit pies.
And they do. Last issue, you had Spider-Man. He had his Twinkies in his web belt. And now Iron Man, apparently, he's running around with Hostess fruit pies.
Mm-hmm.
I can really say that this comic strip has paralleled my life up until the very end, when I just learned right from wrong because of a Hostess tender fruit pie.
Now I want apple pie. Apple Hostess pie.
Maybe when we're done.
What's your favorite fruit of the Hostess fruit pies? What are there? There's apple and cherry
apple,
here.
cherry, and I believe there's blueberry.
Oh.
Other than that, I don't really know. Now, I can't wait until they tackle Hostess Big Wheels.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do they?
I don't know. Soon. That's my favorite Hostess snack. Now, Captain Action says, cool artwork for an ad. Yeah, and that's the whole point. They want to bring the kids in thinking this is a part of a comic strip when it's an ad. Oh, very, very subliminal.
Nice.
Until the end when Iron Man's holding Hostess fruit snacks. And then the cover's blown.
I know, that's pretty funny.
All right, Chris Alexander looked it up and says the Hostess fruit pies were cheaper than the comic itself. 30 cents.
Wow.
Well, thank you, Christopher. Thank you for being on that. All right, Sarah, any more to add? How has your life changed since reading this comic? Since this comic
now
ad?
I want some American apple pie, damn it. That's what I want.
Okay. Now, back to our story.
All right. You'll have to fill me in on which page it is. Oh.
Next one. Oh, right there, right there.
Okay.
Now, Han is on a floating table all covered up as Chewie tries to take him back to the Falcon. But he is stopped by troopers who tell him that there is a death warrant on him, which is serviceable right now. Which means he's got the power to shoot Chewie right here, right now.
Oh, no.
Just then, Han pops up from under the sheets and starts blasting away the troopers.
Woohoo!
Cut to Luke, Leia, and Gray Shade, and they're figuring out an escape plan when suddenly Luke senses another tremor in the Force.
Oh my gosh.
Darth Vader's Star Destroyer drops out of hyperspace and is racing towards the wheel. Vader instructs Commander Wormus to come in slowly since the person on board the wheel also has the Force and he might sense him and quickly take off. So slow down, put the brakes on so Luke doesn't sense us before we make our surprise attack.
That's pretty smart.
That's why he's Vader. We cut back to R2 and see that the person waiting for him is Master Crom. He's in a whole new body. He hasn't been destroyed.
Oh, I was so happy about this.
Yes, and Master Crom explains to R2 that before he was destroyed, he switched his functions to a whole new body. All right. Anything ringing true about the Rise of Skywalker here?
Oh, right.
Did the Rise of Skywalker steal this plot device? Because this is like when Palpatine, when his consciousness had left his body before dying in Return of the Jedi and went to the body we see in The Rise of Skywalker. It's the same concept. So I think J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, they owe a credit to Archie Goodwin. Yeah. Oh, JJ, we're on to you, buddy. We're on to you. All right. Are we all enjoying that moment? Are we all seeing it?
I am, and this is where this comic really starts to feel like A New Hope, where you've got all these different things going on. You know, Han and Chewie are together, R2 and 3PO are together trying to do something with Master Crom, and Luke and Leia. Like, it's just, wow. It's very intense and exciting.
Now, Master Crom tells R2 to plug into the wheel's central computer so he can broadcast the recording of the Empire stealing the wheel's profits. Now, the jig is up and everyone knows everything. You know, it's all about social media. Hope R2 is hashtagging this. And now the random woman comes back. We need a name for her, Sarah. Give us a name for the green-haired lady.
Where is this now? Which way? This back? Oh, okay, I see her.
Okay, give her a name. Or any of the Skywalkers, this green-haired lady needs a name.
Yeah, we need a name. Let's see your comments. Also, Captain Action, Master Com is just like Ultron. Is it Master Com or Master Con?
Com.
With an M.
Yes,
as in
like almost like
man.
.com. See, they are so far ahead of themselves.
Oh.
Okay, so until someone thinks of a name for her, Sarah, just throw out a name until someone thinks of something better.
All I can think of is
Lady Green Hair.
Amaza, but it's not Amaza. How about Green? No. Oh,
Sabine Wren.
Lady Green Hair. Greer, kind of like Greer.
Greer?
Greer.
All right, Jonathan, you win the name naming contest.
I like that.
All right, the random woman whose name is Greer, she exclaims, "Oh, you read this, Sarah."
Okay. The Empire's been making those attacks and claiming it was the Alliance.
Once again, it's a pretty far leap in logic for her, once again, because, well, they need to start wrapping things up. But she's the one that jumps ahead like 4 or 5 panels.
Well, it's a good thing she's there. She's smarter than the rest. Good job, Greer.
And now, this treachery incites a riot on the wheel since this is their sanctuary here from the galaxy.
Right, and so the fact that it's being disrupted by these stormtroopers, and it's like, oh no Empire here,
The Empire, they've agreed to leave us alone.
Yep.
But now they're here. What is up? And so the patrons on the wheel, they incite this vicious riot.
Yes.
Once again, these comics are decades ahead of their time. Han and Chewie are racing back to the Falcon and passing by the big red arrows that keep popping up.
Yes, indeed. However, they are not racing. They are chilling out, riding this hover.
This hover cargo floater.
But look at Chewie. It's like hilarious.
He's like in a chaise lounge.
Yeah.
Just
He's
sitting
like
back.
sitting back, chilling. Han is sitting down. You never see our heroes sit down.
Not like this, legs folded. But now, what about all these arrows? Some are pointing right, some are pointing down.
Down? Yeah, I didn't. Once again, I did not notice these arrows.
Do you know who we need?
Who?
Greer to explain this.
Why are there arrows everywhere on the wheel?
Now, as Han and Chewie reach the Falcon, they see a stormtrooper patrol guarding their ship. And Han says, "An Imperial welcoming committee. These guys are as persistent as Tatooine sand lice."
Yes.
All right. Stop it right here. It's time for a Fatum fast fact.
Oh my gosh!
Now, you know when I read Tatooine sand lice,
Absolutely.
I thought, okay, where do these sand lice pop up later on in other stories?
Really?
And guess what?
What?
They do. Now, Tatooine sand lice are also mentioned in some more upcoming classic Marvel issues, and they're also mentioned in the Dark Horse comic Jabba the Hutt, The Hunger of Princess Nampi from 1995.
Wow.
And they're also mentioned in articles from Wizard.com as part of the Wizards of the Coast Star Wars role-playing game.
Wow, that's cool.
How much do you love that?
That's a really random facts. And yeah, it's Tatooine sand lice.
Yes.
The sand.
And if you look it up, they could be called Tatooine sand fleas as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, doesn't sound good.
Yeah, and I do know that the Lucasfilm people story group, who I'm not going to name names, they're culling through some of these old stories and pulling things out. Now, Chewie rams the cargo floater he and Han were on into a squad of stormtroopers.
But he doesn't just ram it. He rams it like bowling with stormtroopers. I think this is amazing.
Oh, he's playing some candlepin there.
Look at this.
But he's not just ramming the cargo floater into the troopers. What else is he ramming into them? Because look at.
Apparently, he's ramming the winnings.
Yes.
Now, did they have? Oh, because they won. I guess
because
they won.
Chewbacca won the big game.
Oh.
He won the big award.
Oh my.
So there goes all their winning, all their money.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, couldn't they have run over to the stormtroopers and picked it up?
You would have thought so, but
I guess not.
Then they would have gone to like a 7th issue.
Okay.
Because of all that. Now, cut to Luke, Leia, and Greyshade, and they're battling troopers in the docking bay. Luke tells them that he will stay behind and do battle so the princess and Greyshade can take off. And that's once again Luke sacrificing himself for his friends.
Right.
And Greyshade says, Skywalker, how can I ever win over the princess with you and the likes of Solo constantly throwing away your lives for her? Gray Shade. He then tells Luke and Leia to get aboard and he'll stay behind.
Okay, this whole page was confusing to me.
Okay,
Like-
so Luke is telling Leia
Okay.
and Gray Shade, all right, I want to save you, meaning Leia, so you get out of here and I'll be a diversion. So
Luke is going to be a
so Luke is
diversion.
going to stay behind and sacrifice himself to save Princess Leia.
Okay.
And
so-
Gray Shade is like, seriously? How can I ever win over her heart if you and Han are always the big heroes? You're
Right.
sacrificing yourselves. You're playing dead. I can't win with this. So that's when Gray Shade, he's got a twist in his character because he says, you go, you and the princess go, I'll stay behind.
Wow.
I
So
know.
everyone's character arcs kind of come in full circle here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, R2 also blasts off in an escape pod with the help of Master Crom, who's also staying behind.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Gray Shade's yacht blasts off with Luke, Leia, and 3PO, and Luke wishes Gray Shade's change of heart could have come in time to save Han. He saved
Right.
everyone, but he just couldn't save Han.
So Luke is very upset and sad at this point, and he's hammering home the fact that he thinks that Han is dead.
Yes. But wait a minute, because 3PO then informs them that he just heard from Master Crom that Han is alive.
Woohoo!
Oh, all right. So we're wrapping up plots here.
Okay. Yes.
But back on the wheel, Gray Shade had been caught in a blast from an explosive charge, but things get worse when Strom finds him and Master Crom and begins firing on them.
I know that's no good.
Now we don't know if Strom is hitting them. He's like 6 feet away.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's hitting them or not. Doesn't look like he is.
Yeah, this panel is very odd. Like you can't really. It looks kind of like it is, but maybe not.
Yeah.
It's not a very well done panel.
But now Gray Shade, well, he's not going down without a fight and tosses a proton grenade at Strom.
Yes.
And does it
Oh.
explode? Does it explode?
And it explodes the most because it goes Fatum.
And you know when you hear Fatum that nothing is going to be left.
No.
That's the most powerful blast. However, Gray Shade and Master Crom do survive this.
They do survive enough to tell each other that they're friends.
Oh.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. So,
That was like, oh, this must be a final comic, in the series because
Mhm.
now Gray Shade has finally realized that one of his only friends is this droid who's
Right.
always just been wanting to be friends with him.
Yeah, but it comes at the right but wrong time because Master Crom is leaking oil and Gray Shade is leaking blood. So let's just throw out all of our emotions right here, right now, while we still have a chance.
Exactly.
Now, Gray Shade's yacht has brought in R2's escape pod, and the yacht is now heading toward Vader's Star Destroyer, which came in slowly, so Luke and Leia, they didn't see it. So all of a sudden, what is this? It's a Star Destroyer! And Vader senses Luke in this yacht, and Luke senses Vader. Suddenly, there is an explosion on the Star Destroyer's bridge, sending Vader, Wormus, and the crew flying every which way.
Woo, craziness.
The Millennium Falcon races in and saves the day once again. Luke and Leia are relieved that their friend is alive.
They're actually smiling
Yes, they are.
in a very odd way. I don't think.
That's how you end a lot of 70s sitcoms with everyone
Oh my
smiling in
gosh.
freeze frame.
Yeah.
Now, Han and Chewie take one more pass at the Star Destroyer.
Mhm.
That's never a good thing.
Mm-mm.
However, they are noticed by Vader, who recognizes the ship as the one that sent him spinning away during the Death Star attack,
Uh-oh.
then destroying the space station itself. And Vader shouts, forget everything else. We've got to destroy that ship at any cost. Luke takes all his frustration and anger that he is feeling. He is truly Vader's son
Yes.
in this panel. Look
Oh
at
my
him.
gosh.
The dark side is consuming him.
Oh.
And he strikes out at Vader's unprotected mind.
Okay, wait. Before he does that, though, we have to go into his mindset here, which the comic helpfully gives. So, Luke is feeling rage, at regaining a friend thought dead, only to see him about to be slain again. And frustration at having vast power and not knowing how to save Han with it. So that now all this rage and frustration, channels have been opened here, opened by a Dark Lord who is probing with the Force. And so Luke takes all of that, all of his raging feelings, like lightning carried along a wire from one place it has struck to another, and blast into Darth Vader's unprotected mind. That was a very exciting read.
It was very, very, very nice. Now, in the time of Vader's intense pain, the two ships have jumped into hyperspace. Now, Vader will never know what who that other Force user is.
No. Is it his son that he doesn't know about? No.
He doesn't know because he doesn't know about Luke yet.
It's true.
Luke knows the Force got them out of this jam today, but now he needs to master this power.
Yes.
One more time. Now, Luke knows the Force got them out of the jam today, but he needs to master this power. The Force is with him, and it worked out this time, but where Vader is concerned, it may not be enough tomorrow.
Whoa.
The end.
Ah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, so.
Glenn Stein is making a nice reference to Kylo on Crate.
Okay.
When Vader and Kylo says, "Enough! Keep going! Forget everything else! Just all power on Luke!
Oh, right.
Blast!"
Yeah. On The Last Jedi. Yeah, there's another great reference here by Chris Alexander who mentions that Master Crom and Gray Shade are shades of Lando and L3. Mm-hmm. That's very cool. And then I have a connection I would like to bring up. So should we go over kind of our final thoughts now that we have gone through this comic, Richard?
Very much so.
Okay, so I will go over mine first because I have them in my head.
Okay.
So final thoughts is I think that this was just a very exciting episode. I love the wrap-up comics. Like, everything comes to fruition. I think they did a very good job of some character arcs here. Like, you have Gray Shade realizing that he has a friend and it's a droid. So you know what? Break down some barriers, make friends with droids. That's really cool. And especially here, I really like Luke's journey. And I feel that this could almost be like canon for Luke. The fact that he had his mind opened up a little bit with the Force and was through his frustration at not being able to use his power, he was able to use it just because he was so emotional about it. Like, that's kind of a little step in the dark side direction. Mm-hmm. But it also is a very much a Harry Potter connection. And I was totally thinking of Voldemort and Harry Potter and how they had that connection with, Harry's scar, and their minds are like connected. And at one point they both use each other to get back at the other, like just through either legilimency and stuff like that, like where they put thoughts in each other's minds. So I thought that was neat, and
yeah,
I think that this Luke's journey really could have been used in a really cool way in the entire saga.
Oh, and it has.
And it has. So I really like that.
Okay. Now, anything else?
Yeah, hold on. Oh, and I also feel like this comic really captured some character voices. Like, they're really starting to wrap their writing pens around this. Like Han's voice, he had stuff like "Your Worship," stuff like that you're going to hear eventually in Empire Strikes Back. And Luke's voice, or at least his mindset, was very much there. And Vader too. You can just hear. When you can hear the character speaking through the words on the page, that's when you know that the writers have really captured the voice of these characters.
That's almost foreshadowing something I have in one of my favorite categories.
Ooh.
But I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. So now, what were your overall thoughts?
Before we go there.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. Crom the Warrior says, did they ever bring back Master Crom? I don't remember if they brought him back in this comic series because I haven't read these in 41 years now. But I know that our good friend Max Cervantes, he is making an outfit of Master Com.
Ooh.
He wants to cosplay as Master Com.
But which body?
I didn't want to know any more than that. It's a surprise. Maybe Max should tell this himself. But he was very excited. I can just say he's very excited about this. And when he knew that we were covering these stories, like, Rich, who is that droid that's on the wheel?
Okay. Wow.
So Max got that great body type for Master Com.
Definitely.
That will be probably the most obscure costume we've ever seen at a convention or anywhere else, aside from that green-skinned band leader from the Star Wars Holiday Special. That was probably the most obscure Star Wars cosplay.
Yeah, that was so cool.
This Master Com will be a very close second. Now, I like this story much. Hold on, there's an airplane going by.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear this airplane?
They probably can, but we might have to get up on our microphones.
Okay. Now, I like this story much better than the other issues because they didn't feel the need to keep stopping the story to explain the back issues. They did it once or twice, but the other issues, it felt so overwhelming that we got so little story around the back issue referencing. And I really hated that, but I knew why they had to do it. And the story kept moving since they had numerous storylines to wrap up. So I liked how fast it went. In even Greer, our new character Greer, you know what? Okay, I see why she had to keep pushing the story ahead. I understand that. Now, Gray Shade, he sacrificed himself, which is the mark of a true hero. And, you know, he knew that Leia and he would never be a thing. So, you know what? I've got to do this. I won't make it out of here alive anyway. And Leia's going to leave me sooner or later. So he thinks ahead. And I like that. And this made him such a better character. If I read these comics again, I'll look at Gray Shade in a whole new light.
Oh, definitely. But not Strom.
No. And the best thing about this issue, they added Cantina creatures.
Yeah.
That makes any story so much better.
Oh, super cool.
So I'm very happy that, for me, the story arc ended on an up note.
I agree. So, Richard, let's go into some more up notes, like our favorite panel.
All right, our favorite panel. I would say it's my favorite, but yet my least favorite, because this is when Master Com is being blasted by the stormtroopers.
Okay, tell me where in...
I don't know. I have to find it.
Right, but where in the issue? Is it
towards
like the front,
towards
the
middle? The middle. Look for that big purple, like right there. Nope. Next one. Okay, I'll start it. I'll start that one again. Now, my favorite panel is the saddest panel I've seen in a long time in these Star Wars issues. That's when Master Com is being just shredded by the stormtroopers. And we see him from the back. So we don't see the front because his face is just being obliterated. And what kid should have to see that?
That's awful.
But look at this. Look at the composition. He's being blown back. And we saw this in a lot of 1970s films. It's very heroic, the heroic death. Like I'm thinking of The French Connection.
Oh.
When the guy's on top of the stairs, I think it's Gene Hackman who's being shot.
Oh.
And his whole body is being thrown like this. So when I saw this, I made that French Connection connection.
Oh my gosh, that's scary.
Yeah, and the way that his whole body is outlined in this fiery yellow, and his debris is shooting every which way.
That's
so
very
artistically, it's fantastic. Emotionally, very, very saddening.
Wow. All right. Well, I had a couple panels. I have to pick one now that are my favorite. And let's check. Oh, okay. No, I'm not going to do that one. Hold on. Oh, yes.
Wait, hold on. While you're looking for your favorite panel,
yes.
Dark Wolf says, whatever happened to Greer?
Oh, but Captain Action has an answer.
Yes. He says, Greer had a successful career as a model and will have a brand new spin-off show on Disney Plus this October. I may have made some of that part up. Can't tell you which part.
Okay. So since I already went over the panel that R2 was in that corridor, like the little corridor, I'm gonna just bring up. I just think it's hilarious, the fact that Han and Chewie are just cruising around on this hovercraft, and they look like they're just chilling out as they're trying to desperately get off the wheel. And I just think it's funny, and it has arrows, so bonus.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Good deal. You only get one this time, okay?
I know. That's my one.
Okay. How about favorite line of dialogue?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, favorite line of dialogue. I have like 4 written down. However, let me see. You know what? I have to choose. So, Richard, can you read your favorite line of dialogue first?
All right. I had a favorite line of dialogue, but Chris Alexander just brought something up. So, Sarah, go to that first panel where we see Greer. It's like the next one, next page.
Oh, Greer's.
Yeah, next page. Next page. Right here. All right. Now, speaking of dialogue, I thought it was Greer who was yelling, "Stop! There's a rebel plot underway." But Chris Alexander just pointed out that he said it's Strom saying that.
Oh, that makes sense because it's in the bubble that's not.
And there's no like pointy thing.
Right. So no, the bubble that has the spikes is the one that means it's like an overhead comm or something. Like it's a telephone call or something. Like it's not
intercom
in the
voice.
room. Exactly.
Or the fact that it's in a bubble that has all these jagged edges, meaning someone's yelling it.
Right.
But it looks like, look at this arrow right there. It looks like that Greer is saying it. So.
But you're right. It's an intercom voice. It's not dialogue bubble.
Okay, so maybe I was being a little too hasty on Greer.
Yeah. What the heck?
So Greer, I apologize, and I'll be the first one to watch your new Disney Plus series. So thank you, Chris, for correcting me on that, and I'll now go to my favorite line of dialogue.
Okay.
This is when Han and Chewie are met by these squad of stormtroopers who are guarding the Millennium Falcon, and Chewie growls something at Han, and Han then says, "What do you mean? You know what to do. So do I. Get the blazes out of here." It's a very genuine Han dialogue. You know how you just said that characters are now starting to find their voices?
Yeah.
I think this is the first line in a long time that sounded Han speak.
I like that.
Yeah, because Han is not he's not a jokester. He just says what's on his mind. And that is just, it's a funny line, but he's not meaning it to be funny. He just says, "Yeah, I know what to do too. Let's get out of here."
Mm-hmm.
Very, very funny. All right. What is your favorite line of dialogue?
All right.
All right. Hold on. We're queuing it up so everyone can see it. Hold, please. Hold, please. Hold. Where is it? What's it about? And I'll find it.
Oh, wait. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so I really like when a stormtrooper says, after blowing away Master Comm, the stormtrooper says, "Obscene, a machine believing it felt friendship for an organic." And this just kind of demonstrates like this galaxy, you know, like they're taking on from A New Hope, where droids weren't allowed in the cantina. They're kind of taking this on into the comics, this kind of galactic-wide disdain, prejudice for droids. And, you know, it's just showing, you know, that prejudice can be everywhere. But then by the end of this comic, that's resolved a little bit by Greyshade, you know, realizing that he's friends with his droids. So I thought that was a good, like, 1-2 punch. Like, you have what the galaxy thinks, then you have Greyshade overcoming that at the end.
And it really isn't just the galaxy, but look who's saying it. Stormtroopers from the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And the Empire has pretty much whitewashed everyone's mind to just thinking humans are the best. Droids, aliens are so far down the social ladder, And that's the Emperor's. That's the way he thinks. That's why when you see Star Wars, the original trilogy, you don't see any of the aliens as part of the Empire.
Right.
Because Palpatine doesn't trust them, doesn't want them, doesn't want droids. Droids can be manipulated or turned off, like in the Phantom Menace.
I agree.
So the fact that the Stormtrooper is saying that just pretty much says what the Empire is teaching their squads, their whole force.
Right. All right, so let's get into our most non-Star Wars moment.
Okay. I foreshadowed mine earlier. That's when Luke, in the very beginning, he storms away from the Will security guard and slaps him in the twin suns.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You are so funny. Wow. All right. I can see that. Something I didn't even see because once again I was just reading the words.
Yeah, I saw it and I felt it.
So similarly, my most un-Star Wars moment happens when Leia grabs Luke and smacks one on him.
But is that a non-Star Wars moment? We saw that in The Empire Strikes Back.
But it surprised the heck out of me. And so much so that I was like, yelled in a public place. So yeah.
Okay, you know what? You're right, but also like it does fit in the Star Wars canon, but it shouldn't fit in the Star Wars canon.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
and
I see.
The narration is just so funny. The embrace is clumsy. The kiss awkward. Like, wow, great. What are you trying to say? So funny.
It, as well as it should be clumsy and very, very awkward.
Luke. Says Captain Action.
Oh.
Very nice.
All right, everyone. Now, before we wrap things up, we've got to read a letter from the Star Wars letter column. Now, this is a letter column in the original issues of the Marvel Comics where readers could write in and write to the editors and tell them this or that or make comments. You won't see this in any of the online books or any of the reprints, only in the original Star Wars comics.
All right, so let's read this letter.
All right, this one is addressed to Sand People.
It's not from Sand People.
No,
it's from Bob McKenzie.
But it's to Sand People, not to editors, not to Marvel, Sand People. Okay, and this person writes, one thing gripes me about issue number 15 on page 27. A Wheel officer informs Chewbacca that unless he cooperates, he'll be sent to the spine mines of Kessel. Now, sorry, we had pointed this out as well.
Yes.
And then this letter writer says, does Chewbacca also drink Ind tea?
Oh boy.
INED.
Like he's changing out the C for the N.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if that was a typo, so I looked up Ind tea and saw nothing. But even if he was referring to iced tea, does Chewbacca also drink iced tea? I don't get that. All right. Then he writes, one more gripe. Chewbacca doesn't look right in these much lauded pages. He should be slimmer, he shouldn't show that many teeth, and his face should be more monkey-like. Signed, Bob McKenzie. Not of the McKenzie twins, but another Bob McKenzie. I'm thinking, I don't know, it could be from SCTV, who knows? Who knows if it's one of them.
Wow.
And he doesn't give his address.
Oh, man.
I know.
Nothing to look up.
Now, side note, Bob McKenzie did give a lot of praise to the artists and writers for many things that they did get right.
Okay, well that's good. You
Yes.
just brought up the bad stuff.
The stuff that I wanted to point out.
Okay.
Because the spine mines of Kessel, well, yeah, we pointed that out too because it's a glaring mistake.
Oh yeah.
But here's Marvel's response.
Should I read this?
Okay.
You aren't the only one to pick up on the infamous spine mines of Kessel. In fact, hardly a letter that came in about issue 15 failed to mention it. A lettering mistake was made, and it slipped by our aging editor's eye. Oh my god. Of course, having never been to Kessel, we can't be certain. Maybe in addition to spice mines, they have spine mines as well. We'll check the intergalactic atlas and get back to you, Bob. Nice.
You're right. Maybe they did mean spine mines of Kessel.
They need to go ask the maker.
Go ask Pablo.
George Lucas at that point.
Yeah, yeah. George
Yes.
Lucas was the story group.
Yeah.
Now, if you note, Marvel never mentioned why Chewbacca looks the way he looks. Hopefully, that'll be addressed in the future. That's
Hopefully.
the only answer I ever wanted from them.
Yeah.
Why Chewbacca looks like Sasquatch from the $6 Million Man.
Looks so stupid.
I
Wow.
wasn't going to say that.
All right. But we still know it's Chewbacca because how many hairy beasts are there? There you go. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics, where we just went through Star Wars 23, Flight into Fury. So we'll see everyone back for the next issue, which is a standalone. And Richard, you've been waiting for this one, right?
Oh, I sure have. It's called The Silent Drifting, and it's about a young Obi-Wan.
Wow.
Yes, once again, these issues are so far advanced. And let's see how close this Obi-Wan is to the prequel Obi-Wan. I'm sure we'll get maybe some crossovers. I really hope. And Chris Alexander, author of Star Wars Origami, will be joining us to break down this issue.
That'll be so much fun. Now we want to give a big thank you to Rob Dellinger for our main theme of Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics. And you can check Rob out at alpharhythmkings.com. He's been doing some live streaming himself. Also, Skywalkers, we want to thank you guys for joining us live because we are using a new system where we're able to show you each comic book page as we're talking about it. It's really cool. And so if you're just listening to this on, if you're just listening to this as a podcast but really want to view the comic, we showed the whole thing as we were talking about it. So you can head to YouTube and find that live stream published, or you can go to our Facebook page and find that live stream published.
Yeah, and this show right here, the live show, is the unedited version.
Oh,
On
yes.
the podcast, we'll add music and sound effects.
That's very true.
Now, please check out all the rest of the other shows on the Skywalking Network, including our flagship show, Skywalking Through Neverland, Talking Apes, and Sabers and Spells.
And you can find them all at skywalkingthroughneverland.com. You can find us on social media. We are at SkywalkingPod, and we are on Instagram. We are on
TikTok.
That was my final words. We are on Twitter, and we're on TikTok. So subscribe to us on TikTok, Skywalkers, at SkywalkingPod. You can also email us, share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com. And you can go to Apple Podcasts or Stitcher and leave us a review, or even type some comments. Well, I guess you've all been typing comics on the YouTube episode. So thank you guys.
They've been typing comics?
Comments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
They're writing their own comics.
Yes.
Well, Jonathan did because he came up with the name Greer.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Now, for Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics, this is Richard.
And this is Sarah saying, Fatum!
Fatum!
Hey. I said it first. You had to think of another one.
Well, I was echoing that. Your Fatum was so big, I was echoing that. Do it again.
Fatum!
Fatum, 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 Fatum.
4.
All right, everyone.
Woo.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you.
Skywalkers. Wow, that was a fun episode.
Yeah, I'm loving this. I am so loving this.
Yeah, this
So
is
what
cool.
We can stop that now.
Yeah.
So what did everyone think about this new format here?
Yeah, were you able to really, get more into it, maybe? I know for me it's kind of hard to do everything at once. We almost need another tech person doing all that, but so I hope it's okay that Richard did most of the narration because that seemed to work out better this way. Yeah. But cool. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, I can't wait to do the next one, which is the standalone. Been waiting for that one. Oh, we also have to cover the Star Wars annuals too.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
lots more to go. All right.
Yay. Okay.
I think it's awesome, says Kelly. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Oh,
that's good to know. You got to take it? Okay.
My mobile goes.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right, guys.
Ugh.
Well, yes, the interaction, but that's So the interactions, I mean, we'll post whatever comments that we're talking to, so that'll be good on that route. All right, Skywalkers. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. We thank you so much. And yeah, if you are part of the Skywalking Force, you on Patreon this Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, we are going to be doing a really cool trivia night using this system, and then integrating another system. It's going to be really cool. So if you're part of the Skywalking Force, make a note of that, because we want as many of you to participate as you can. All right? All right, guys. And if you're interested in the Skywalking Force, head to skywalkingforce.com to check that out. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.